Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing great. As you can tell from the title down below, I'm actually going to be doing a much needed project. I have honestly not done a morning cart or a morning school update honestly since November. Our family has been in and out of sickness since pretty much Thanksgiving, and I don't believe I have done a morning basket thing since then. I did do a what is in our November morning cart and our morning basket and things like that, but again, since then I haven't, so we've been collecting things in it sporadically, random things, random projects, activities, school, switching out curriculum and things like that for the past few months without actually really deep cleaning it and getting it sorted out. I did actually start doing it the day after Christmas. I actually shared that I cleaned it out in our what I normally do after Christmas video, or I think I titled the video like my after Christmas to-do list. And in that video I had talked about doing the actual flip over and the morning cart and cleaning that out and everything. And I had started that process, but I never put the new month's activities in, if that makes sense. So yes, I cleaned it out, but I didn't put any of January's activities in there yet. So right now I have some leftovers of November in there. I have some December and January, and now here we are in February. It's almost February and my cart is a disaster. So I gotta get it cleaned out, and I thought I'd bring you along with me as I do that. And just so you can see kind of the real life of what happens in our family when we leave something like our cart untouched for months at a time. And especially with a very busy 18-month-old who, in her spare time, especially while Mama is teaching my preschooler and kindergartner, she likes to keep herself busy by going through the cart. So everything is a disaster, and everything is actually all over the floor still around the cart from things that she actually got out and looked through and colored and everything like that from this morning. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this is the current condition of it. As I said before, it's a complete mess. And I didn't clean up anything yet from our school this morning because I did want to show you kind of what real life looks like in our home, especially with an extremely active 18-month-old. So yeah, this is typically what it looks like at the end of every, honestly, this is what it looks like at the end of every single school day. But yeah, it's definitely in need of a quick cleanup. And it might not be so quick, so let's get started. So honestly, for me, once things get to a certain point, which is kind of funny because I try not to let things get to a certain point, because one thing I know about myself is once it does, I tend to then I just avoid it. I kind of just push it in the corner and be out of sight, out of mind. I don't look at the cart every single second of the day, so I kind of just forget about it. That's why I've always tried to stay up on it. And this is also another reason why I'm actually really glad that we don't have an actual official homeschool room, because I feel like if I had a homeschool room, it would be the whole room that once it got to a certain point, I would shut the door and not want to deal with the mess, so to speak. So I am glad that everything that we use on a daily basis is actually just contained into one cart, and it's not a whole room that I have to keep contained. So that's a good thing, I guess. So this was all the miscellaneous things that came out of the top. There was a lot of stuff. I actually can't believe there's this much stuff in there, but art projects, miscellaneous coloring books that we grabbed in the morning and just never got put back, sketch pads, math manipulatives, just a little bit of everything. I was really surprised that much stuff came out of the top. But yeah, thankfully it is all cleaned up for the most part. I am gonna leave our Draw Right Now book in. That's just a fun activity that the kids love. And then we'll be ready to fill this up for the month of February. And then this is everything that came off of their individual shelves that are also on the carts. but I have the reading books for my son. I have his kindergarten curriculum. I still have his Master Books math curriculum that was on his shelf. I did switch out this curriculum. He's actually doing the CLE math curriculum now. We've actually really been loving it. And of course, his abacus, he loves using that when it comes to his addition. So I'm probably going to take this and go ahead and put this on the shelf until he says otherwise for him wanting to do it. I actually still do give him an option on whether or not he wants to do this or his CLE book, and he's always picked his CLE book. So that's the only math thing that I'm probably gonna put in the cart for now, as well as his language arts. And then we also have the Simply Classical copybook from Memoria Press. It's just the manuscript book 1. And then also on his shelf, he had all of his little beginning readers that went with his Good and Beautiful curriculum. These are all the ones he's completed, so I'll probably go ahead and take these as well and put those away with the big massive pile. And then on his shelf as well, he had his cards that he's already mastered. So I'll go ahead and put those away, and I'll probably switch them out for the cards that he is ready for in his curriculum. And then what is sad is I have his brand new curriculum that he's not even ready for on his shelf as well. I just hadn't put it away yet. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so I do have his grade 1 reading curriculum. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this and put it in the pile of stuff that I have to put away on the actual curriculum shelf. Not the cart, but the actual shelf. So that's gonna go put away. And then I did the same thing as well. I didn't get a chance to put away his actual rest of his math curriculum. His math curriculum is in units. So I'll take the units that he's obviously not ready for and put that in the stack of things that need to be put away. And yeah, that is everything, honestly, that he's probably gonna have in his curriculum shelf now, which is awesome. For my preschooler turned kindergartner, I have her new CLE kindergarten curriculum. I did explain in a previous video why we were gonna go with CLE kindergarten and not the Good and the Beautiful kindergartner for my preschooler. She's not quite ready for the Good and the Beautiful program yet, since it is much more intense than above grade level. So I ended up getting her the kindergarten ones. Now when I ordered them, I did not realize that there was a kindergarten 2. So I ordered the kindergarten 1, and she actually already completed the entire first unit. And I remember in the video when I talked about our curriculum changes, I remember seeing how basic it was, and I was like, well, she's really beyond this, but it's great for busy work because she really likes doing busy work. But I didn't really realize that she was actually ready for kindergarten 2. And so we do have like 5 units here of things that she could do as busy work. But I also wanted to be mindful of not just giving her busy work, because I also wanted to see her grow. So since she did do the Good and the Beautiful pre-K course book, this is actually really great to grade level for her. She did really well. She completed the whole thing. Yeah, so I actually need to go ahead and discard that. Actually, just get rid of it. Put it in the little discard pile. Anyway, as I was saying, the kindergarten 2 is more of what she is ready for. So we actually did go ahead and start this, as you can tell. You know, it's stuff that she already kind of knows how to do. She already knows how to obviously trace all the lines and everything. Very gentle, very soft approach to the first kindergarten. She does know how to do a lot of letter formation, so this is still great at grade level. It's not as simple as just like the busy work from the first part of kindergarten. And then she goes into reading a little story. There's food on the floor, sorry. Letter sounds, so you have to go through the picture and find everything that starts with the letter M for mouse and things like that. So she is starting to do more of that beginning reading in kindergarten 2, which is what she's ready for. So I am, however, going to hang on to the rest of these units. This one is completed, so I am going to put that in the discard pile. But all the other units that she hasn't completed, I think number 2 she's actually also completed. But all the other units I am going to keep and go ahead and put those on the curriculum shelf, because I do have other little baby coming up and she can do those when she's ready for them. So definitely not going to discard those or return them, since 2 of the units are already used. So I'm going to go ahead and hang on to those. And then the other thing that she had in her actual curriculum cart shelf is the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. So that is definitely going to stay in her little shelf, along with her kindergarten book, and then her Scribbler to Scribe book for her handwriting, which she also really enjoys. So I did want to go ahead and share with you what I did go ahead and gather and put in the top shelf for the month of February. Honestly, I kept it really simple in the winter. Honestly, sometimes I just want to keep with simple. I don't know why, but sometimes simple is best. But anyway, they wanted to do, we of course have a few winter books that we wanted to do, but they really wanted to do actual wild animals. I only have a few books for those that I grabbed anyway, and then we're actually doing a unit study, or a little bit like clip of a unit study I should say, that I'll also share with you. But the first book that we have for the month of February for our cart is the Particular book. We have all the books in this series, and we love these books. We absolutely love them. If you lift the flap here, I hope you can see it, but if you lift the flap, you can actually see like the little animals move. But it goes through all kinds of wild animals, and it's just a really fun look into nature. And they have the ocean one, the polar one, and the jungle one, I believe. And then we also have the wild one. This is our newest one, and we're really liking it. So I did grab that. And then the other book that we have for our morning cart is Winter Eyes. This is actually a collection of poems, and we actually love doing poems for copy work in the morning. So we will get this book out, the kiddos will pick out a poem, and then that will be the copy work we do for the day, is a winter poem. And then we also have How Would You Survive as a Polar Bear? This is a really fun book. We've actually read it a few times already, but the kids are interested in learning more about polar bears, so I did grab it out again. But it takes you through the whole life of a polar bear, how you would survive if you were one, and things like that. So I have that, and then the other one is actually also a poetry book. It's called Winter Friends. And again, it is also a little poetry thing, like I said before. So this is also really fun for the kids to do poetry. I also just read them aloud when they're working on either busy work or copy work or things like that. I'll read poems and stuff. I love doing poetry with the kids because I like having them hear how words kind of rhyme and blend together. And it's a great way to introduce kind of like that rhyming concept, especially to preschool. So we have that one, and then we have shared this a couple times in our channel. I'll have the video linked up above of some of our favorite books that we've been enjoying. This is In the Snow, Who's Been There? It's all about a brother and sister who kind of go on a little adventure outdoors, and they try to discover who is leaving what track. So they say, oh, who left this track? And then next page says, oh, it's a cardinal, and then it's just a really sweet book. So I went ahead and grabbed that. Then of course the Draw Right Now book, which I mentioned before, and then I also grabbed a Home for Penguins and Home for Whale, this one. This one is by Barefoot Books, I believe. This is also just a really fun addition for a winter type little unit study. So I went ahead and grabbed that. I'm going to put that in here. And then our favorite one that we grabbed for this month is actually just Wild Animals of the North. This is actually a beautiful book. It's one of those kind of coffee table type books that each page doesn't have a ton of information on it, but it's enough to kind of introduce you to the animals. But the illustrations to me are what is beautiful. And so the kiddos will look through this, they'll pick out an animal or an illustration, and sometimes they'll try to draw that animal, or they'll copy it, or they just like looking at it. But the illustrations are just really pretty, so I went ahead and grabbed that so they can pick out what they want to copy or draw, or just honestly look at for fun in here. And then for the little smaller items, I do have the Christian Light Phonics flashcards. I've actually shared these before, or maybe no, I don't think I've shared the phonics ones before. I think I've shared the sight word ones. But I love these cards. They're really big, and they go through all the special sounds, all the letter blends, and I like how not only do you have an example of it on the front, but you have like an entire list of them on the back. So I really love these cards. Highly recommend them. It comes with a whole entire box of them. Everything that your kindergartner, first grader, probably even second grader needs to know. But I really like those. And then of course the two things that I did keep in here that was in my cart from the previous session is I did go ahead and keep the Good Manners flashcards. I won't probably share these too much because I have shared them multiple times, and I don't want you guys to get tired of hearing about them. But I did go ahead and keep those in here. And then I also had the story cubes in here, which I have also shared multiple times. But yeah, those are in here, and that is for the most part everything we'll be doing for the month of February. The last thing in our cart is actually a really simple unit study. I'm not gonna show you that today. I'm gonna save that for an upcoming video. But we've been loving incorporating actual formal unit studies into our homeschool. The kids like it, it's more structured, and they learn really, really well doing it this way. So I'm gonna share that sometime this week. I'll probably get that video up by Wednesday. For you to see kind of what we're doing and for you to get a glimpse at kind of what we'll also be doing in February. Well guys, thank you for joining me today and kind of helping me go through everything and clean everything out. I am very excited that I can kind of, I don't know, I guess I could say think better now around my cart. I don't like push it off in the corner and run away to avoid it, but I am really happy I finally did it, and it's always worth it when I actually do get around to cleaning something out. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you haven't, I'd love to have you join our family, and you can do so by subscribing down below. And until our next video, you guys have a good one, and God bless. Bye.